G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today is April 14, 2023. This is the spot gold price update. On all three timelines, the daily, the 4-hour and the hourly chart, they're all in a upswing, and as per our CCI 1500 with a moving average 400, they're all showing a bullish momentum. So let's drill down in each and see what's happening. So first off, again, for those new to the channel, we do use the CCI 1500 moving average 400 as our key indicator of trend direction, as opposed to the moving average 200 of the price chart. The reason for that is it gives us a bit more, I suppose, reliable trend correction. So you can see here, for example, going back to this point, it did tell you to be careful of going long because it did break to the downside, whereas the moving average still kept going to the bullish momentum, as a quick example. You can see here also, likewise, back here in September 21, the moving average of the CCI broke below the moving average, whereas the price chart kept showing you a bullish momentum. So again, here it told you to go predominantly short. So just in drilling into these as well, I've got this key support area at 1809 and key resistance at 2032, and there is this other minor resistance forming at 2048. And if that starts turning to the downside, we're going to move that, create that as a solid resistance area and remove this one. I've also drawn this diagonal ascending trend line, and that was going back to historically to those levels, and that's just in a bit, I suppose, a bit of a way off in terms of where it is, but if it does turn to the downside, that's a potential support area. But at the moment, it's looking pretty good for gold, although just be mindful it is hitting this resistance. Now, looking at the 4-hour chart, I've also drawn this other ascending trend line. These two ascending trend lines, and it's causing this wedge. It was fluctuating in that range for some time, and now it's broken out of that wedge. Again, it's broken above that initial resistance and now hitting this minor resistance. But again, you can see there we're in a pretty good bullish momentum at the moment for gold. On the hour chart, it was fluctuating above and below the moving average of that CCI, and it's almost running flat for a number of days. You can see there with the price chart as well, below this key resistance area, but finally it's broken through the upside and now hitting this minor resistance. And again, when if it breaks above that minor resistance, we're going to move this solid resistance to that area as our key resistance area. Also, I did draw this previously. I did draw this Fibonacci retracement between that low and that high before it broke to the upside, just telling you that typically it does bounce off the 61% level, or somewhere in that range between the 0 and a 61% level. If it's going to bounce, it bounces. Otherwise, it falls through, then it generally a change of direction of trend. Now, in this case, it bounced almost perfectly off the 61% level to the upside, so it was a trend continuation. So that would have been a nice area to potentially go long in some of these areas. And what I've got here is some fractals and just some trading ideas. So when you're going in the direction of the CCI, you want to take trades. Say, for example, you could have taken that little trade there and exit with small percentage gains or monetary gains is my preference. I don't like to put in long, very high targets. I like taking very small incremental gains where I can. Now you'll see here, the last trade you could have made was above the fractal, was that bar there, but you'll notice the price is pretty much broken even at the moment, and you'd be about almost break even at the moment. So again, to understand how to properly trade using the average down approach in this sort of scenario, reference the links in the description below. Subscribe and like us more on Patreon, and we'll see you in the next video.